you for having me.
I just saw you drop that product. Now, I saw that product. That stood out like a beacon of light when I saw, of all like the new beverage brands new beverages I've seen in the coolers, that one was most interesting to me. Can you tell us about this product?
Absolutely. Thanks for saying that. So, Dirty Detox is a combination of a few elements or other drinks that we have at our store. And in essence, it tastes like a spicy lemonade. Because the charcoal, which I'll talk about, activated charcoal, is considered medicinal, but doesn't have taste. And so it's based upon something called Masterade, which is a traditional type of cleanse that some people have done, very minimalistic, cayenne, lemon, maple syrup.
Yep.
And we added the activated charcoal, which has kind of become a hot topic. It's traditionally used in helping people get through drug addiction, and now is more lightheartedly being seen as a recovery from toxins in general.
Interesting.
So we didn't really introduce what Juice Press is here. You want to give us a little intro?
Yeah, absolutely. So Juice Press is a 7-year-old retailer, and it has 67 stores. 5 years ago, when I bought out the co-founder at Juice Press, it had 4 stores. So we've had extraordinarily fast growth. And we're on pace to be 100 stores in the next year. We're primarily in New York City, including Brooklyn and our commissary in Long Island City, Long Island. We also have 5 stores in Boston. And one of the reasons we grow so fast, we have a great partnership with Equinox, where of the 67 units, 30 are store within store, where we operate out of Equinox as the exclusive food and beverage operator. And in addition, we're going to announce coming up relatively soon some new partnerships which are going to accelerate our expansion.
So as far as the expansion, though, you guys have really opened up in some kind of iconic spaces recently in New York here. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, I should point out about what's different about Juice Press is that we are vertically integrated. So everything that you see in the store essentially is Juice Press branded and Juice Press produced, with few exceptions. Actually, one of your winners this morning, Rise Coffee, is a joint partner with us. We have a co-branded coffee with them, which is going extremely well. But in terms of iconic locations, we feel like when you look at the value add we're bringing and the differentiation, real estate is definitely one of those areas. This past week, we opened in Rockefeller Center as the first juice provider there. We just signed a lease at the Empire State Building.
Wow.
We're in Grand Central Station. We just signed a lease in Union Station, which is the second busiest train station in the country. And we have an amazing location on 59th and Madison. So we're very fortunate. We've become, especially in office buildings, we're getting a lot of landlords who see us as an amenity to the building, or in the case of like the MTA or public transportation, see us as something that's going to help commuters have a better experience.
So, I have a question about real estate. Juice Press is located in buildings where other retailers are located.
Right.
Do you have any plans to open up a standalone, single structure Juice Press store?
So, in the long run, we do, because we have larger aspirations to be beyond just the urban environment. So far, where we have gone into the suburbs, we have been part of some type of strip center, etc. Admittedly, it's a different animal when you start developing in standalone locations, different considerations, and I don't think we're quite there yet in terms of our development. But when you look at the next 67 stores, what we're seeing is there's a number of strategic partners who want their customers, however you define customers, to have juice, but they don't want to make juice themselves. Right. And that lends us to be the person who's brought into that structure, whether it's a train station or Equinoxes or other related companies in the fitness space under the Equinox umbrella, or it's, as I mentioned, office, but it also could be casinos and lodging, et cetera. So you should expect to see us, or airports, et cetera. Those are the types of things you'll expect to see from us. So it's kind of nice to have that pathway to, let's call it 150 stores without having to think about standalone development.
So as you've had this expansion and I guess aspirations for a lot more, you guys haven't had like a strategic investor yet. So how have you funded this so far, and kind of what does the future hold?
Well, thanks for asking. When we look at right now the continuum of what we're trying to accomplish, first and foremost, you have to have the loyal customers, and our best customers come to the store 100, 200 times a year. Some are 300 times a year. With that, there's the next level is influencers, and most importantly for us, the vegans, the nutritionists, and then the influencers, whether they're people who really care about their livelihood depending on their diet, athletes, and other types of media type of influencers. We're fortunate, about 25% of the top 100 influencers in America have given us free publicity. We talked about landlords, all these and strategic partners. We feel like our strategic investor will eventually come as a continuum of proving those things out. And so we've been fortunate to be able to wait until we find like that right partners there for us.
Awesome.
You guys did a podcast with John Craven, you and co-founder Marcus Antebbe, about a month ago. And one of the things that really stood out for me, and I mentioned this when we were doing the intro to the podcast, was that Marcus mentioned common innovation is complete. And it was really interesting for him to hear that. He's saying that current innovation, what I'm guessing he's saying is that current innovation doesn't really move the dial anymore. You have to go well beyond what has been done in terms of ingredients and formulation and processing methods. So what are some of the things that you guys are doing to stay ahead of the game and to stay innovative?
Yeah, I feel very positive about our R&D. It's a weird spot to be in a good way, in the sense that we can't compete with R&D of a multinational corporation. But yet, I think the multinational corporations are putting their efforts towards something different than we are. And so our R&D budget compares more to the mom and pop store.
Right.
And in that way, because we have a much bigger critical mass, we have the opportunity to be a much bigger R&D compared to the smaller competitors. The next thing is that what I bring is I'm mostly living a plant-based diet, but not exclusively. So I bring more of a generalist perspective to the R&D process. Marcus has been a vegan, which I commend him for over 20 years. So there's a lot of very cliche type of things you do in the vegan community that are kind of inside jokes to the community, or things that the vegans find exciting. And again, I've increasingly moved towards a vegan diet myself, but I still grew up with that generalist perspective. And what I mean by that is we have a salad called kale Caesar salad. It's a very vegan, funny thing, but the average person who walks into the store as a consumer is I don't want a Caesar salad. And it's it's not, those jokes we have to evolve past that.
Right.
So Dirty Detox is a great example. We're interpreting veganism in a totally different way. And the most obvious place to do that is in ethnic food. So I was saying this the other day to somebody. How many Indian restaurants are there in New York, in Manhattan? Let's say specifically Manhattan. I'm guessing 100. Let's just say. We're going to be introducing an Indian grab-and-go jar coming up. So let's say we have 50 locations in Manhattan. So overnight, we're going to increase the points of distribution of Indian food in New York from Manhattan specifically, from 100 to 150. It's kind of cool. When you think about all the great cultures that have very interesting vegan offerings, we're going to be adding that to grab and go, whether it's Thai or Mediterranean, etc. And so that's one of the ways we keep differentiated and keep our R&D machine going. We have a lot more R&D ahead. We have a plant-based ice cream line that just came out.
Wow.
We're getting into the kombucha space in a big way. And all these things, the nice thing is, because we control our own environment, we have the ability to talk directly to our consumers about our value proposition.
Very interesting. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but this has been great, Michael.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Congratulations on an incredible event you have here today.
Appreciate it. And thanks so much for bringing all the wonderful juice that you guys brought.
My pleasure. Okay, have a good day.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.